Getting a pint at the pub today sure does take a lot. 900 bars at £4.50 costs a fucking lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna drink at every pub in Brighton town. From Wetherspoons to Jambo Lounge, checking the map at the dog track, from the lobster to the fucking cow. We gonna drink in every pub in town. We're having a smoke at the County Oak, at the Jolly drinking a beer. The infinite crow brings booze into your ear.
Cheers.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going great, yeah.
This is
episode 1 of season 2.
That's right, tonight with Bob and Joe, back in action, 2, Die Hard 2.
This time things are slightly different.
Yeah.
How have they changed, Joe?
Things have changed massively, probably, over the years.
That's true, actually.
But,
We've got older, we look older.
You speak for yourself. I've shaved.
You do look younger,
Tonight with Bob and Joe 2. The Infinite Bar Crawl. We don't know if that's the title. Is that the title?
I don't know. I think.
Think?
I suppose we'll decide once we put the subtitle on the actual thingamajig. But I think that works. Infinite Pub Crawl, Infinite Bar Crawl.
Yeah.
Something to brawl.
We're gonna attempt to drink in every single pub that we can. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. That's right. I think we've had some kind of debate about whether it should be as many pubs as we can drink in, or every pub. I think I've got a personal desire to drink in every single pub in this city.
Me too. I want to drink in every single pub.
So I think, how many pubs are there in Brighton?
As far as I'm aware, just from a quick Google search, I was around 900.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think it's true? Do you think it's more than that?
No, I think it's less than that.
I mean, that's great. I'm glad that there's less than 900.
This is where the conversation gets interesting, though, because it's what do you consider to be a bar? So in terms of pubs, I think there are about 300, maybe 350 in Brighton.
Do that in a week.
We could try to do it in a fucking week. We better insure our livers before we do that. Yeah. But no, in terms of like, if you added together hotels, if you added together every bar that isn't really a pub, aquariums that sell alcohol, maybe we'd be looking at 900.
Okay, so no, all right, well then that makes sense, and that was something I wanted. What I figured, and what we figured out, I suppose, is that the rules are. Yeah. We need to set up the rules. The rules are as follows. We're going to drink in as many places as we possibly can. Mm-hmm. Now, it's our prerogative where we drink. It's our pub crawl.
Yes, that's true. It's
up to us. But as you said, you're a completionist.
I am indeed. Yeah.
You know, you like to collect
Crash Bandicoot. I want to hit every box.
Exactly. And I didn't care. I just like the music.
Exactly.
And I think what it is drinking establishments. Is it primarily a drinking establishment? That's it.
That's the question. So, for instance, to cut to the chase, is a strip club a drinking establishment?
Though you can drink there, its primary... this is hard because
it's tough, isn't it?
Its primary source of income might be booze.
I think it is, yeah.
Does that
really overpriced booze.
Really overpriced booze. So that's where they make their most money.
But it costs 30 quid to get in.
Pubs don't cost 30 quid to get into.
Exactly, yeah. That's actually one point Joe made a point the other day, which was basically like, there are a few pubs around Brighton that are hire, just for hire, so like venue pubs that you hire out for weddings and whatever. Yeah. Is that actually a pub if you have to hire it in advance? I don't know. For me, personally, it's about the history of the place. I think if the place is old, if it used to be a pub, if it still looks like a pub, even if it's a steakhouse,
Aberdeen.
Then I think it still is. But it's a question. It's a question that we need to answer as we go.
Yeah, that's right. We're in the County Oak.
The County Oak.
We're in the County Oak.
It's a wonderful pub. I've been here only a couple of times. I think maybe twice.
I've never been here, but it is really nice. What are we looking at? We're looking at the Downs. We're looking at the South Downs, man, out of this beautiful large bay window. We're in the function side of the County Oak. The County Oak used to be owned by... No,
is still owned by the people who used to run the Jolly, right? The Jolly Brewer.
The Jolly Brewer, 5 Ways.
Yeah, 5 Ways. Yeah.
And that was incredible. That was an incredible pub when they owned it.
Probably, at the time when it was running, it was my favourite pub in Brighton.
Exactly. And if anyone remembers, if we've got any repeat listeners here, then we did actually do a video in the old Jolly. When it got taken over, which it was never the same place again. Basically. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, so we took the video after these guys had left.
But a lot of the old regulars were there, and so it was nice to talk to them about how they felt about the transition. And to be fair, I don't think any of them really went back after that night.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It changed into a much different place. Now it's sort of a vinyl board game kind of place. Yeah,
we're going to have to go there eventually.
Yeah, we're going to go there. Probably near the end of the list.
I think. Yeah.
Which it's
2 years later.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So here we are in the County Oak, which is
it's beautiful. I don't think I can think of a pub in the city where you could look over the South Downs like this. You can see, I don't know what you call that. We've got a little cluster of trees that clearly the Saxons have made for some sacrilegious pagan rite.
Gorgeous.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, right on the top.
There's a tiny cluster of trees. It's pretty beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. There's one of these on the way as you drive to Cornwall. There's also one of these up on the left. Any Cornish, anyone that lives in sort of the Penwith area will know what that means.
I think there's a special word for
it.
I can't fucking remember what it's. We'll Google it on the way. We'll Google it on the way to the next pub.
Yeah, we'll Google it.
What are we drinking right now, Joe?
I'm on a Foster's.
I'm on a Foster's as well. Not actually an Australian beer.
No, it's 4% because when you drink that much, that 1% makes a huge difference.
It does. It mounts up over time.
Yeah, massively. It's only pretty recently that I've realised that if I'm going to drink this much beer, then I need to pull it down to these 4%ers.
Exactly. I remember a time when you and me were in Wetherspoons and we were deliberately saying, "Who the fuck drinks that kind of light beer shit?"
Yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
we were wee babes in the wood at that point.
Wee babes in the wood.
And now we're hardened alcoholics. We understand what it is to drink a huge amount of alcohol. Price was
£7.80.
That's actually, is that quite good? Is that quite good?
I'd say that's incredible. That's £3.90. That's £3.90 a pint.
That's brilliant. I think I'm just.
I don't think we're in a happy hour.
I'm calling it right now. I don't know if we're going to find a cheaper pint than that tonight.
This might be the cheapest pint of the night.
Could be the cheapest pint of the night.
Cool.
I mean, one of the other things I really wanted to address as well while we were doing the show was we're not trying to do a pub spy. We're not going around to every pub and just saying, is this 5-star, is this 10-star, or whatever.
No, I've got no. I couldn't be bothered with that.
What we're really trying to do is drink in every pub, immerse ourselves in the atmosphere, immerse ourselves more importantly in the alcohol itself. Have a lovely time, but also what I was saying earlier to Joe was that even just looking at the map of every pub in Brighton made me feel closer to the city itself.
Yeah, and this is something that Bob's done because I'm just, I suppose, lazy for one. And
it's all right. I'm lazy too. But
gives me a headache. The other day when you turned up with your with the map, you showed it to me, and I almost had a hemorrhage.
Yeah, it looks like looking at a virus or a disease from above.
Exactly what it looks like.
It's like the land is just all the pubs pockmarking the horizon.
Now, how many pubs? So if we say that a pub is, firstly, it's a public house, somewhere that's public that you can go into without paying.
Mm-hmm,
So you have to be able to not pay to get in. That's why strip bars are probably banned. Unluckily.
Unless it's a very, very special occasion, I think.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, it's our prerogative.
Yeah,
a very special occasion. It doesn't sound like I've been to one strip club, believe it or not.
In Brighton?
I've been no, in Cardiff for a friend of mine's for his wedding. What's it? A stag do.
Was it as demeaning and savage as you expected?
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. I really had a bad time.
It's the opposite to a pub in many ways. You know, I mean, I heard that
it's unwelcoming.
Back in the day in London, when this is like in the 60s and 70s, the sort of Francis Bacon era of drinking, there were pubs where, you know, in the afternoon you couldn't drink there because it would close at like maybe 2 o'clock.
Sure, yeah, I think that's kind of.
You had to be a member. You had to be like a member.
I don't remember it as in wasn't there.
Not like a past life or something.
Yeah.
But no. So you had to be like a member of the club, and apparently they close all the doors, they close the shutters, and just the members would drink. And during that time, strippers would come in the afternoon and do like a little strip show with a hat.
Oh, great!
And
It's
people would
probably kind of burlesque-like.
Yeah, it's kind of burlesque-like, but maybe a little bit seedier than that. I mean, is there anything seedier than burlesque? I don't know. Yeah, there is actual stripping, but but what I mean to say is that there is a connection between these sort of the establishments of jaded men who come to drink and be merry around other men.
Yeah, and probably easier to get money out of drunk men.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, if I was
drunk,
dancing,
lonely fuckers.
Yeah, if I was a private dancer for money, I'd dance for drunk dudes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or women, but they probably wouldn't give me any money.
No, that's right. Yeah. So you take what you can get.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So strip clubs probably not.
End of the list.
End of the list. Yeah, and then we've got hotels, restaurants again.
I think off.
Definitely off. Because they're getting most of their food. They're getting most of their money from food, but again, probably not. It might be, you never know, like wet and dry, what's making more? But either way, a restaurant is primarily somewhere to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's not a pub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Though it has a bar, and though some restaurants have incredible bars and nightclubs.
Here's one rule I kind of made in my head. Don't know if you like it, don't know if you don't. I mean, now there's a time for this kind of conference.
Yeah.
Is basically, if it says like bar and grill, it's a bar.
Yeah, that's true.
But if it doesn't say that, so I've been looking through hotels recently in the last few days, and if in the description of the hotel they themselves don't mention the bar, I don't include it on the list.
All right, fair enough.
But if it says we're a hotel from the 1800s that also has a bar, then I think, well,
that sounds great.
It's a bar.
Yeah, and I want to go there.
Same thing with hostels that put the same thing on. I think it's still a bar. If it says it's a bar, but if it doesn't advertise it, that means they don't want drunk bastards like you and me going there. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, we could prove that wrong.
Also, I mean, this is a crazy thing.
Prove
Actually,
that wrong.
This technically could be on our menu for tonight, but I don't actually think we should necessarily do it. But one of the pubs near your gaff at the moment, on Dyke Road, is technically their bar is open 24 hours.
Where's this? Is this a hotel?
This is, I think this is called the Preston Park Hotel. It's got a bit of a dark history.
Hold on, is this the Preston Park? Is that my local down the road?
I don't know.
Or is it just a hotel?
No. It's actually.
I think that's the Prestonville.
Complicated geography to.
In fact, the Prestonville. We were just talking about this. The owners of the Prestonville are actually swapping.
They're swapping this pub
with So these guys, by the time we get to the Prestonville, these guys will be running that.
Nice. Yeah. That's fantastic.
I bet they can't wait.
But imagine that, though, the idea of a 24-hour bar. I mean, I don't think that exists in Brighton at all, outside of a hotel.
Or mine or your houses, yeah.
Exactly, the bar that is our fridge.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's
cool, that sounds great.
Is that only if, of course, you have purchased a hotel? That's the fucking thing. I purchased a hotel room, sorry.
Yeah, sure. Well, does that mean we have to get a hotel room?
I don't know.
And then drink all night?
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking thinking. Maybe not for tonight, but, we'll start ourselves off slowly.
So what we're saying then, man, is that it is our prerogative, but also we must make sure we hit certain ones.
Whenever you say prerogative, I think of Britney Spears.
Well, that's why I keep saying it, because I like to remember Britney.
Me too. I mean, she only played last year, right, in Brighton?
Yeah.
Didn't she?
I didn't go to it, though.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not accusing you, but...
Yeah, I would have gone. It was really busy, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I think...
everyone's coming down
for
the
boys went, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
People we know? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people we know, yeah. Yeah. I think
people we don't talk to.
I think the man from Malzol went, and I think the Moldovan boy.
I love it.
I think they
We're
tried
using
to
the pseudonyms already.
Pseudonyms already. I think they tried to go, but maybe they sort of had too much fun on the way, and then just ended up not going somewhere else. I don't know, but
I hope so.
But I think they might have seen Britters. Yeah.
Britters. That's fantastic.
The old Brit filter. Yeah, and
I bet she loves that.
Right, so
if you're listening, Brittany, we've come up with some affectionate nicknames, and it's only the first episode, so
and it's all for you.
Tune in for the rest
every time. So it's like we can go wherever we want, because of course we're sovereign human beings.
Yeah,
we can do whatever we please.
We'll manifest destiny.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we have certain rules. So we want to go to all the pubs that are pubby pubs, definitely all the pubs. But then these things on the side, hotels, strip clubs, restaurants, bar and grills, cocktail bars, stuff like that.
I think a cocktail bar definitely counts.
I think it definitely counts too.
Yeah. But even though it's a lot sleazier and it's definitely not a pub.
It's not a pub because of course all I really care about are pubs.
Let's put it this way: by the time we end this project, if we were able to drink in every actual pub in the city, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's good to know.
But if we were able along the way to somehow drink in every hotel bar, every cocktail bar, every bar, if such a thing exists and is not a giant Latvian elephant or whatever bar is.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You know what I'm
I remember Bar the elephant. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He's like a king of some distant man.
Yeah.
Then I'd be happy if it was every pub. If we could drink in all those as well, that would be fantastic.
All right.
And the nature of the crawl.
Well, that makes me happy because what I'd like to do is be able to at least get, just for the completionist in you and me, it is me as well, to get all of those pubs done, definitely.
Yeah.
And then anything else really is just a special treat and more to tie to sort of like I don't know how to describe that.
I think it's also, it's funny because when we were looking...
Another string to a
drunken bow. That's nice, I like that.
Okay.
But when we were looking up the definition of bars and using, of course, as we always do, Wikipedia for everything, the first picture they actually came up with is like the picture of an airport bar.
Right.
And there's something incredibly different. I mean, as a man who's only flown when I was but a wee boy, I'm terrified of flying. But I don't remember airport bars. But the whole concept of an airport bar is different to a pub. It's a transient space, more like a hotel.
It's a waiting area.
You're going in and out of it. It's not somewhere you sit down.
Area.
You'd hang
Pubs
out
aren't waiting areas.
And what I'm interested in though is that if we do go to a few pubs and we end up in a few hotels, then we end up in a few cocktail bars. We're going to kind of taste the sort of the spice of life.
Yeah, we're going to see the difference
of what the city's bars have to offer.
Yeah. This room we're in at the moment, it's the function room. It's just got it's got happy birthday
written all over it.
Written all over it, and in some ways, I think that's quite great because this is the birthday. Of our second season.
This is year one, right?
Year one.
Number one. Day one.
Year zero.
Day one. Exactly, day one. Yeah. It's happy days. But I also think that the fact is this pub has had a few paint jobs over the years. It's clearly changed from what it used to be.
Yeah.
It still has an old rustic feel. Now, Joe, don't get angry at me. Because I know that you don't want this to be about me reading off facts. Reading off sheets of information.
No, I do, because I know nothing about this place and I really want to know
about it. But I have done a little bit of research in advance.
I hope so.
So what I know about this place...
This should be a segment. I might bring a ukulele.
A little ukulele.
It's time for a segment.
Second episode, we're going to do that. Bring the ukulele. All right, we'll do that. Right. Now, so this pub isn't the original County Oak. All right. Nice. The original County Oak is actually opposite. It's just over the road. It's the library, what is now known as I think it might be the Patcham or Hollingbury Library.
Right,
I can't remember the name of it.
Coming in.
You might have seen it.
Big building.
It's quite small. Is it big? I thought it was kind of small. I can't remember. But anyway.
Sure, I didn't see it.
So we arrived in a taxi, like proper podcasters, by the way, real celebrities. Real slick bastards.
As if he was cool. He was a cool dude.
Oh, lovely. Fucking one of the best fucking Uber experiences in recent years.
Bloody tipped it.
But anyway, so there's a library across the road from the County Oak, and that library back in the 1950s used to be the County Oak.
Wow, okay, so when did it change over?
It changed 10 years later, in 1960.
So it opened in 1950?
I think it opened, maybe a little bit before that.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it changed that they were like, fuck this, we're going to change this into a community centre. Ended up being a library.
Right. So this place is 70, almost going on 70 years old.
Absolutely, so they just moved over the road, but they custom built this whole building just to make a sort of big pub.
Well, what we noticed is there's so many houses and no pubs.
A shit ton of houses,
A shit ton of houses, yeah. So this is proper...
The king of the locals.
King of the locals. And it really is massive. So it's only open for 10 years across the road?
I guess so, yeah. Maybe it's older than that. I'm not totally sure, I didn't verify all my facts very well.
No, that's cool.
But what I know is that in the 1950s it was the County Oak, and in the 1960s they'd switched around.
And the reason it's called County Oak is because we were on County Oak Avenue.
Ooh, interesting. No? Well, actually, the reason why it's called the County Oak is because it's the boundary of what used to be. So basically this whole area used to be its own separate village that included like Hollingbury and Patcham and all those kind of areas and many more that my brain can't memorise. But there used to be once upon a time a tree that was here. That was an oak tree, and that oak tree was the marker for the end of the boundary.
Gosh, that's beautiful.
Of where the village was. So it's the county oak.
Cut it down. Yeah.
Yeah, probably cut it down. Interestingly enough, as well,
probably cut it down. They made it into the tables.
Exactly, the tables that we're sitting on. But another interesting thing about that I read was that, of course, if I said, like, let's say there was a pub that was demolished, and I said, I live next to the pub, and you were like, there's no pub there, man. You'd be like, you're fucking insane, Bob. What's going on?
Sure.
But if you say I live near the county oak, even though the oak is already cut down, it's not a problem with an English language semantics.
Was the county oak.
Yeah, basically there's a certain way that things in the English language, even if they're gone, can still be mentioned within conversation or within geography, even when they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
But you couldn't say, a demolished pub. Like, I live next to the pub, but the pub's not there anymore. Anyway, doesn't make any sense. It's not existential, but I'm just mentioning it.
I love it. I mean, that's something that I'm going to look forward to almost every pub we get to. I'm sure you'll have something for us.
I've got a little bit in some places, but nice. But that's the coolest thing about every pub that will be in this city, especially the really old ones, is that they've got so many stories and all this history that we just don't...
We're finding out some great stuff about some other pubs that we won't mention now, but we'll mention them when we're there.
Absolutely,
But there's some incredible, especially these old pubs. Well, we were in Birmingham, weren't we, man? Like for Filthy Al's birthday.
Filthy Al's birthday.
Exactly. And whoosh. And we were up there in Birmingham, and Bob had... What had you done? You'd found...
I just basically looked for the oldest
pubs, yeah, and then let's go and drink there. That's all it was. Let's go and drink at the oldest pubs.
And just for future reference, every time I mentioned it, you laughed at me for that.
Yeah, I mean, of course I did.
But...
Let's refer to the list. I was like, and that's funny.
The list fucking worked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did work, which made it funnier, really, for me. And some of the best ones was... The Gunmakers.
Oh, the Gunmakers Arms in Birmingham, yeah, that was brilliant.
Oh my God, in the gun court.
How long was that? It was the 1700s?
Yeah, 1700s. Unbelievable place. The kind of place, right, that you turn up and immediately everyone sort of looks at you and goes, and then you sort of grab beers and everyone, again, just leaves it and goes, brilliant, they're drinkers, that's fine. And we started drinking... they started playing Twin Peaks.
They started playing the Twin Peaks.
The Twin Peaks.
I was like, we fucking died. We've gone to heaven. No, something's going on here, man.
Fucking Valhalla. Like, it was amazing, wasn't it? And there was those guys playing the instruments.
Yeah, we went over to the bar, and one of us asked the bar lady, like, "Oh, did you put the Twin Peaks theme
kind
on?"
of young, good-looking bar lady.
No, I didn't. But my boyfriend. And then a guy at the bar went, "Everybody, she's got a boyfriend."
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It was brilliant.
Real good place, and I think
people were so friendly.
What we learn over, what I learned over that. Well, I mean, I knew it anyway, but what you learn is these places. If you take it with a pinch of salt. Like, of course, if you're going to walk into a pub that's 300 years old, there's going to be guys in there that have drunk there for 40 years, and they might seem a bit and
they don't want the young flesh.
Well,
the young Cronenbergian flesh.
They don't want to be reminded of like their misspent youths. They also don't want to be annoyed by wankers like us.
Exactly, all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
But then, as soon as you have one beer and have a chat with someone, you find that they're all incredible, and there's always something great to talk about. It's fucking.
They're great.
This place, we end up. We're
talking more about that pub than we are this pub.
Well, it's the pub,
true.
And we end up in this place just like smoking all over the place. Everyone's, we've got tobacco all over the pool table, which is of course a faux pas. But he didn't mind. He just put it all down into the pockets. He was like, "Oh, they won't mind." He's like a real great guy. Do you remember that? They had a piano that was so out of tune it sounded like one of those glass harmonicas you were talking about.
The glass harmonica, which was a banned instrument in like the Victorian era, post-Victorian era.
Exactly.
Like used to make the sounds of ghosts.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
Glass harmonica. We got to get ourselves a hold of one of those.
The point I'm getting to is that these old pubs have like not just character architecturally, but embodied within them, there's some sort of spirit of a real good party.
And to be honest, I mean, if this one was really, only built in the 1960s, it's amazing how old it feels.
Yeah.
It feels like an old pub. Yeah. I think they've constructed it with that purpose to be a place for the community.
It's a really good, really quite a beautiful...
It's magic, isn't it? It's majestic.
The view out there.
I can tell right now we're about to finish these drinks, and I think this is the first time that we're going to be doing this for the show. But when we do finish our drinks and we decide to move on to another pub, there'll be a certain sound that the audience will hear.
We're going to call time at our bar. We'll catch you guys at the next pub. Numero 3.
And we're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back, man. So this is numero 3. We're in the third place.
Mm-hmm. The third place.
We're in the third place. The Ladies' Mile. We're in the Ladies' Mile.
The Ladies' Mile.
Yeah.
Finally in the Ladies' Mile.
I know. How does it feel to be in here?
Well, it's different. It's prestigious. There's even just when we're walking up to the Ladies' Mile itself, I was really, I could see this kind of gladiator style. I don't know what you call that. Is it? I think it begins with a P. It's one of these weird like trees. It's like a Popeye or something. It's weird.
A Popeye?
It's got a weird like crazy gladiator style tree.
It does look gladiator.
And then I was like, oh shit, this is where the clock tower. The Patcham clock tower is about to be, and as soon as we walked past this massive gladiator tree, there it was. And Joe was like, oh, yeah, there's a Ladies' Mile opposite the fucking clock tower. There was a Ladies' Mile.
Partridge.
sorry.
That's all right.
And yeah, there it was, and I was like, fuck. But the thing is, it's not like a normal pub. You don't just go up to it. There's a big door.
There's got
pillars.
There's a sort of there's pillars that
huge
sort
pillars.
A concrete awning of
kind of
building.
ceramic.
Yeah.
Ceramic ground.
It's a semicircle.
Yeah, and it kind of like a rounded front.
Yeah.
And
concave.
Already with like sort of glowing lights outside, you can't help but feel like there's something a bit different about this fucking pub.
This pub's got something else going on it. It's very really cool. It's really cool.
Although I know very little of the history of it.
Sorry, go on. We must say that if this.
Yeah.
If
this might be the third one, or it could be the second.
Yeah, you might be getting it after the first pub we were in. If the second one hasn't recorded.
We were just at the Long Man of Wilmington.
We're at the Long Man of Wilmington.
But if the recording didn't work, we're going to go back there again for a sexy special.
Yeah, we'll come back there for it. Yeah.
But yeah, in the meantime, all I know about this place is that I think it was built in the 30s. I think Just out of interest, why do you think this place is called the Ladies' Mile?
Right. I mean, this is, for me, I would say that this is called the Ladies' Mile purely, this is boring, but just because there's a road down there called Ladies' Mile Avenue.
Why do you reckon that road's called Ladies' Mile?
Okay. Then my first guess would be because it's a place that you could get women on. Yeah.
So you think it might have been like a brothel, a road full of brothels or whatever?
It seems a bit far out of town to be a brothel town.
Maybe that's the point though. Maybe it's out of town. I don't know. It could be. That could make sense. Kind of the red light district of Brighton.
That does. I mean, that's why I would think somewhere would be called the Ladies' Mile.
Is there any other reason? Is there any other reason other than prostitution that you think it might be called something else other than the Ladies' Mile?
Yeah. There could be something to do with the war.
Yeah.
It could be something to do with women taking over this part of town during the Second World War and making something of it.
You're kind of, without necessarily the war coming into it, you're kind of close. Right.
Did you have any ideas? But
so
I mean, I know.
I know.
What did you think?
Although what I know might not necessarily be true.
Okay.
Let's think about, sorry to say the word, but Groat Cunt Lane in London.
Right. Sure.
Now called Grapevine Lane.
Grapevine Lane. Yeah.
But today they might give it a very different reason for why it was originally called that and stuff like that. Whereas we know it
certainly was called Groat Cunt Lane.
Yeah. To begin with, it was, but now it's it's innocuous. It's a grape. Apparently, the story goes that Ladies' Mile is called this because equestrians, people who ride the nags, they would separate male and female riders of horses in terms of the areas that they were allowed to ride in.
Okay.
So female riders, women who were riding horses, were given this mile. The equestrian mile, the Ladies' Mile, where they were allowed to ride.
Just up here?
Just around
here? This is the only bit they were allowed to ride?
It was actually built for them. Apparently the area originally was built just for riding horses.
And so that would have been that road down there?
Yeah, I guess that's the idea.
It's quite a nice hilly road. Now there's like a Domino's, a tattoo shop, and a pizza place.
I have a weird feeling like that's not the end of the story though, but that's all I know really. And there are apparently in this pub somewhere, I haven't seen it yet, but there are like wooden kind of carvings of women riding horses and stuff like that, wow. Female equestrians.
Well, something about this pub certainly shimmers more of a kind of. What's it called? The Winchester in Shaun of the Dead? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Winchester. Yeah, W. Yeah.
This place really gives more of a Winchester vibe than many pubs I've been in.
Yeah,
Isn't
it funny though?
You know the bit where he's talking about like. It's the bit before it turns into Zombieland.
What were we saying? What he puts the gun above the bar?
Nick Frost is going, oh yeah, and that works. That one.
And gun works. Yeah,
and she used to do this, and he you know.
Yeah,
this pub has that kind
it's
of
also
thing.
huge.
It's massive.
And you know, Joe was mentioning just as we went to order the Fosters, which we're drinking, by the way.
Still drinking Fosters.
Still drinking Fosters.
Cheers.
Cheers. The whole bar itself is super rounded. It's super long. Very much like the front of the pub itself, actually. But it's really long. I mean, it goes on a long way. Kind of like if your mate was ordering one drink at the other end, and you were at the other end, you wouldn't be able to hear what each other was saying.
Oh no way, no! It's
even yelling.
If you take an average bar and times it by 3, I'd say you'd be sort of close. And and of course it's got that semicircle vibe. So if you're at one end of the bar, it's got a real kind of almost like a bookies kind of feel to it. Like if you're leaning over at one end and you're sort of like, oh, I'll have a beer here, you could be sort of eyeing up like an enemy or a lover. Almost. I mean, we're talking about 20 foot. I'd say 20 to 30 foot long.
Sure, yeah.
But in a semicircle.
Yeah, no, it's I must say that if our listeners did get to hear the last thing with the long Man of Wilmington, which is very close, nearby, like 15 minutes away, 12 minutes away.
Yeah.
There is a connection between these two bars.
Absolutely.
First of all, the Lion still owns them.
The Lion Man owns this one too.
Lion owns them both.
So what we know about him is that he owns prestigious vibe pubs
in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, which is dodgy.
Yeah, well, it's kind of dodgy, but also he must like the locals. That's the concept.
I've seen him once in town. I saw him in the flesh once in town, and I thought
he looked like a lion.
Man, his hair is absolutely magnificent.
Oh wow!
He really looked magnificent.
Wow.
Like he had an incredible suit on. His hair was a huge mane. I knew a guy at university from Essex, very cool drumming dude.
This guy beat it. The hair was better.
This Lion Man really took over. I thought that guy had a mane, but he was just a young pup compared to this guy. You know, and he's got like the sort of skin of a well-travelled man.
Right, so leathery
magic, leathery margarita magic,
wind beaten.
Yeah, wind beaten. Yeah, nice. Yeah, but he really looked quite. I think I expected when I saw him to think, oh, there goes.
Yeah. But you actually like, oh shit!
I was like, hey, check that guy out.
That's a fucking lion.
There's a refined fucking gent right there.
Well, there you go.
He looked cool.
If there's anything this man knows how to do right, he knows how to kind of preserve the ancient architecture of these fucking bars.
Yeah,
not so ancient necessarily. It's only like what 1930s, but still fucking old.
Still, what's that now?
Still fucking old. But also, I mean, these are clearly. I mean, this is packed. What day is it today? Fucking Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday night and it's rammed. There are loads of people here.
To the left of us, there's quite a massive congregation of young men and
you might be able to hear that.
And you might be able to hear them. Yeah, they're doing something. They've got something to do. Maybe they're
some
a team,
some sort of
sports. Yeah, they're some sort of team. In the other end of it, there's a whole pool team. Do you see those guys down there?
The pool? No, I didn't see them. Yeah,
the whole pool thing going on in there.
Once again, I'm sure this. They got the dartboards. You got your smoking area. You got it's an oldie kind of magic.
In fact, I think we should look for more of these Lion pubs.
Yeah. Maybe I'd be surprised if we ended up going to a Lion pub. Well, actually, the basket makers is one of them, right?
Is it?
Is that
so
one
is
of
the cricketers.
Oh, the cricketers.
I know the cricketers.
The cricketers.
Yeah, I was there yesterday. Yeah.
And did that have the same vibe as these places?
It had it had the same vibe, but it didn't have the game aspect. But it was kind of, it had deep red lights. It had a real nice vibe. It had a great vibe.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's also got that little sort of stable outlet. I don't know if you remember that, but there's a little bit in the side where you sort of go off to the gents, but like the floor is now stone. It's clearly an old stable.
Yeah,
very nice, man. Very
I mean,
cool.
I know.
And a lot of places were just...
The Cricketers is a really old pub as well. It's like a hugely old pub.
Yeah.
So like I reckon
a lot of people would dig that up and just...
Yeah. I mean, fucking hell. You know, of all the Wetherspoons...
It might not be allowed to. It might be so old, you know what I mean?
Could be listed. Could be listed. That's a good point.
If it wasn't.
But I feel that even while this pub that we're sitting in now, this pub, the Ladies Mile pub, might have changed a lot over the years. In fact, one of the pubs, I asked the bartender, we're about to go to the Ladies Mile, and they went, oh yeah, it's changed up a bit or whatever. Right. So clearly it's gone through renovations, but it still has managed to retain a kind of vintage feel and atmosphere, which I think is fucking important.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I like this place.
One thing though, I think we've forgotten, which is actually important for the podcast, is we forgot to take a picture with our pint. So I think we should go out for a cigarette very briefly, and join these guys in a few moments.
All right, cool. Let's go out for a smoke, man. Let's do it. I'm gonna make sure that I stop this correctly.
Shit.
I'm gonna stop it like this. Shit. No, it's
just,
still here. Look.
Does that just go over?
See you guys in a bit. Lovely smoke.
Lovely smoke indeed.
Yeah, great.
We're back.
Yeah, we took the picture outside. We decided not to record outside for the smoke.
No. I think it's best that we finish our drinks like civilised men in the indoors.
Cool.
Braving the warm instead of the cold.
I know, it is nice, isn't it? We're in the restaurant part. We're in the little restaurant bit.
Yeah, like a couple of dweebs.
Yeah, if you walk in and turn right and go to the quietest corner, you'll find us.
You'll find us recording a podcast.
I'm pretty sure I heard someone laugh at me when I said that.
Could have been. We were just saying when we were outside though that like clearly this place was purpose built for crazy manic local parties.
Oh man, it's built for total debauchery. It's like it's got a specific vibe that I haven't ever seen in a different pub or any pub.
In Brighton.
No, I've never seen a pub like this. A huge crescent moon pub. I've never seen one like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's the kind of place where you can have your own time, but at the same time you can see everything that's going on across, apart from when you're where we are, because we're in the restaurant. But if you're at the bar, you can see everything that's going on, but you don't hear anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's got a real something else kind of vibe. I wanted to play a brief game while we finish this drink. It's the first time for this game.
Cool.
I think it could be employed in different episodes depending on how well it actually works. I know. I want to surprise you with it, James.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I want to surprise you. I'm a man of surprises. And I know you like surprises.
I do.
So the way this game works is you use the Wetherspoons magazine.
Sure.
Okay.
You've got one.
It's basically I've got one right in front of me.
Wonderful. That was
Wetherspoons wanking. Is that what you're thinking? Well, only men such as us would do such a thing. To wank over a magazine of drinks. No pornography. It's just got drinks in it.
Just brass.
So
lamps.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a few pub names by you. Okay? The Wetherspoons pubs are all Wetherspoons pubs.
Right.
I'm going to run a few names by you, and I want you to tell me what kind of image of a pub that evokes in your mind.
All right, let's go. Let's go then.
The first name is the Golden Grove.
The Golden Grove.
This is in Stratford.
The Golden Grove.
What do you imagine? What comes to your mind? Tell me.
Sheepskins.
Nice.
I think
the walls or the floor?
I think immediately I'm thinking of Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh wow!
I'm thinking of golden fleeces.
Yeah, great.
I'm thinking of trying to find. What was the place called?
It's called the Golden Grove.
The Golden Grove. The Velvet Underground.
Oh yeah. So Velvet Underground, Sheepskins, the Odyssey.
That's all I've got.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, if you fuse those things together, it made them into a pub. That would be fantastic.
Oh, imagine that.
The Golden Grove to me speaks a little bit of Bohemian Grove. I imagine it being a tiny bit Illuminati.
Owls everywhere.
Yeah, maybe some owl motifs.
Robed men.
The filthy owls are not what they see. But no, Golden Grove for me, I'd imagine it kind of having this kind of warm brown light that this pub does, but also kind of being a little bit kitsch, a little bit tacky, a little bit like not so cool. But kind of everyone drinks at the Golden Grove.
It's a Wetherspoons.
Golden Grove, because it's a Wetherspoons, of course. Right, I'm going to run another name by you, Joe. Next name is Hamilton Hall.
Hamilton Hall. That immediately makes me think of my great-grandfather.
Wow.
It immediately makes me think of... also the Hamiltons. What's that?
What is the Hamiltons?
Is that a place in America?
The Hamiltons.
It's like a place in America where like rich people like just...
Is that right? Is that like
there's probably a lake.
The Hollywood Hills or something?
Yeah, but it reminds me. I tell you, it
reminds you something.
It reminds me of Emma Hart.
Oh, Emma Hart, of course.
Yeah. Reminds me of her. Reminds me of the poses. It reminds me of the 16th century. It reminds me of Greek vases.
Wow.
And naked, buxom women posing with those vases for the entertainment of aristocrats.
Well, fuck me, I'd drink Foster's in that pub, my friend. I'd drink Foster's in that pub. I've got another name for you. Another Wetherspoons. It's called the Sahawi. I can't pronounce it. The Sahawi.
The Sahawi. Reminds me of that guy from How I Met Your Mother, you know, the cool one with the blonde hair.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. He's also in Gone Girl. He gets stabbed in the chest and some bloody explosion. It's not that great, but yeah.
It reminds me of him. I've got nothing else to say about that.
Sir Howie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
Howie. He was like Howie Doogie. He was like a famous doctor.
Oh, Doogie Howser.
That's what it reminds me of.
Doogie Howser. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Sir Howie, for me, it would be a prestigious. In my mind, it'd probably be a gay pub. In a good way.
Prestigious gays,
it'd be a prestigious gay pub, like less trashy, more on the side of like, you know, just nice gentlemen getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sort of green, sort of lapel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oscar Wilde type.
Oscar Wilde style gay bar.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Cool.
Last one, the bottle of sack.
That just reminds me of castoreum, anal sacs, beaver glands. That's what that reminds me of.
I just think that's such a brilliant name for a bottle.
What's it called? The bottle of sack.
It's called the bottle of sack. It's in Sutton Coldfield.
It's in Sutton.
Yeah.
Oh, a friend of mine in Australia now. Bass player, lovely man, J-Dog I'm going to call him.
J-Dog?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call him.
Shout out to J-Dog, wherever he is.
Yeah, he was out, he moved to Sutton for a little while.
Do you reckon he's the kind of guy drinking the bottle of sack?
No. No, but I would.
I mean, I'd love to know...
He'd go for it.
I'd love to know the origin of that name.
The bottle of sack.
It must be...
It's got to do with the sack of... The sack is the bottle.
The sack is the
bottle is the
skin.
Sack. The sack is the bottle.
The bottle of sack.
The sack holds the booze. The bottle is the bottle of booze.
So somehow some words got mixed up along the way.
Essentially, it means the bottle of bottle or the sack of sack.
Yeah. No,
it means what it means is let's have a.
I'd love to say, you know, someone's like, you know, where'd you go last night? It's when just had a real heavy night at the bottle of sack.
Yeah.
That's the end of the game.
That's a great game.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to see that again next time.
Yeah, well there you go. Well, hopefully I'll
come up with a game. That was a great game. Thanks for that. I loved that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
really went out on I was out and about there.
Imagination games.
Imagination games.
Now, as we're finishing our final droplets, I'd like to get from you a few final thoughts about the pub before we leave.
There's
anything you think, anything you just think, you know, I'd like to say, let's say you'll never come here again, hopefully we will, because it's a lovely place, but if you had to just say a few last things, what would you say?
I probably wouldn't drink here that often.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you lived around here though, maybe, or...
Well, if I lived around here, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
There's a lovely teapot over there, it's a nice brass teapot.
Yeah.
It's probably my favourite ornament.
They got some good props. Yeah.
Yeah, they have, yeah. The books I doubt are ever read. 2 teapots.
Yeah. So I don't think anyone's read those books on those shelves. Those are proper prop books.
Yeah, they are. I haven't got much to say. I'm pretty impressed with learning what the Ladies' Mile was. I thank you for that.
Oh, well, you know, I'm glad we're here. It's a fantastic achievement. I think it was a great. I think these last few properties.
I've got déjà vu.
Oh, have you? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Does that mean that the black cats have glitched out the Matrix, or what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Does that mean that the podcast is similar to our last podcast?
Does it mean that we've drunk in pubs many times and spoke about similar things? I don't think so.
No.
Déjà vu doesn't work that way. It's not about similarities, is it? It's about feeling like you've done it exactly the way it exactly is happening.
What do you think?
Even to the grey beard of that man over there that I've never seen before.
What do you think that déjà vu really is? Do you think it's a Carl Jung kind of mysterious proof that we live in a subconscious broth and that all time itself is an illusion?
I'd love to think that it was that, and I think deep in my heart and soul that's what I do believe it is. I do believe that déjà vu sort of gives one at least the idea that the concepts of life and memory are not all that they add up to in our realities as we live through them.
They're worth more than the sum of their parts.
1 and 1 equals 3.
Yes.
But another part of me, I suppose my lizard brain, sort of believes that what it really is just a latency between one synopsis, one sort of. What am I talking about? It's not
the amygdala, the hippocampus.
I'm talking.
Hippocampus is the memory.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm talking. So a latency between one part of my brain to the other, like the firing electrodes within my brain just were split seconds out.
Yeah.
So I saw it, and then my memory sort of said, "Oh, actually, that just happened," but it was happening.
I like to think of it a bit like the oldie computer folders, where you put one memory in one folder and then another in another, and sometimes a present memory that's just been made gets put in the past folder, and we experience what feels like the past.
Yeah.
It's a very fucking rudimentary, basic way of putting it. You know, that's the way I like to think about it.
That's a great way to think.
My final thought about this bar is that, I think I kind of mentioned it to you before, is that to be here alone would be really weird.
Sure.
But to be here with friends would be amazing, which it is.
And on that, I'm going to call time at the bar, man.
Call time.
Time at the bar. It's not actually. I'm not going to. This isn't like the radio show like last time.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not like Bob and Joe 1, which was radio show styles. See you at the next pubs. We're going live.
So here we are.
Yeah.
We're here at the
Miller and Carter.
Miller and Carter.
This is a hotel.
It's a hotel.
Or a steakhouse.
Or a steakhouse, depending on your poison. Will your poison be pillows, or your poison be alcohol, or
beef?
Beef.
Yeah.
Beef is certainly one of my many poisons.
I know it's one of mine too.
So I think this is an important moment for us, because not only is it the first episode, it's also the first hotel we've been in.
Sure. We did talk to the barman about whether or not they do more on food or beer, and he said 1 and 1. 1 and 1. Said it's sort of the same thing.
Sort of the same thing.
And that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Now I'm here, if you can hear the music.
I think you can.
Now I'm here, I'm happy I'm here.
Yeah.
I am. I'm happy I'm here, but I do wonder...
super chilled out, man.
I do wonder, I mean, it's nothing like...
It's
all of the
so
other
relaxed.
It's awful, isn't it?
It's relaxed, it's like muscle relaxant. Relaxed.
You can't come in... No, it's not codeine. It's not codeine. Codeine's good. Muscle relaxants are great. This isn't like that. This is the sort of... This is the cocodamol.
Yeah, sure.
Of muscle relaxants.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
From the over the counter stuff.
Totally over the counter. Yeah.
This is 8 milligrams of codeine, 500 grams of paracetamol.
I'm just going to say, just to describe the architecture. As a place, it's fine. It's very nicely designed.
Yeah, wonderful place.
We've got a chandelier made of whatever the hell, upside down red
wine glasses.
Wine glasses.
coming back in.
We're coming back in.
Here we are.
We're here at the Miller and Carter Steakhouse.
We've already recorded a little bit, but it got a little bit broken.
I think you can tell by the clandestine nature of our voices that something weird is going on.
We're now crouched over the table, quite close to each other, whispering into a lapel microphone.
It's not the place. It's not a place for drinking and partying.
It certainly isn't.
It's a place for eating steak and sleeping.
Certainly, yeah.
I think that's what we've learned.
Yeah.
The other thing we've learned is that this place, historically speaking, has a couple of ghosts.
Yeah.
The barman, what did he say? The barman told us something.
He said there's auto asphyxiation upstairs.
Somebody
I'm sorry, that's what he said. There's another customer across. There's a customer of the hotel across the road.
She doesn't want to hear the horrors.
She doesn't want to hear us. She doesn't want to hear us talk about it.
We're going to leave very soon.
I promise you.
We're going to leave very soon.
No, she says. She says now she's going to be afraid. No, there's no. It's not.
Just two.
It's not not necessarily ghosts. I wouldn't. It's not that there are definitely ghosts. It's just that someone auto asphyxiated himself upstairs.
By the way, just to let you guys know, we're drinking Amstel right now. Amstel. Cheers.
Amstel. Cheers. What was the price of that?
That was £9 for two.
£9 for two. That's actually quite.
I think it was less. I think it was like £8.60.
£8.60. I mean, that's a good price.
It's actually cheaper than the other place.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
So what we're saying here is, I think
you can't just go into a steakhouse.
It's not a steakhouse, though, is it? It's a hotel.
It's a hotel.
It's a hotel with a steakhouse in it.
That used to be
it's
a Harvester.
And this is what I was saying at the beginning. This is a hotel that has a steakhouse and a bar in it.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's a bar or a pub.
No.
And we found this out right now.
But they did advertise themselves as a bar, and that's why we're drinking here.
And we can drink here. And we're allowed to drink here. We can drink here.
Absolutely. We are drinking here right now. We're also scaring hotel patrons by telling them about ghosts.
We're sorry about that. We are sorry about that.
The first ghost was a man who was shot outside.
In the 70s.
Shot straight in the head.
That's what they said.
And
he was killed out
he was
there
killed
in the car
right
park.
out there in the front of the steakhouse/hotel, Miller and Carter. And his ghost now haunts the halls of the hotel.
What room are you in?
I'm not going to let you two do it.
317.
It's that room.
That is the room.
Whatever
That is
room
the
that
room.
is, it's that room.
That is the one. That is the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. The one that the patron who we've terrified, that is the exact room where both ghosts inhabit.
The one with the auto asphyxiation, the guy with the orange in his mouth.
They also put the orange in the mouth.
On a rocking horse.
On the rocking horse, and they asphyxiated there. So basically what we've learned is, whilst this might not be the best place to drink, it's a great place for ghosts.
And it's also a great place for a good, sort of, a fun time at least.
A fun, very quiet, whispery, scary time.
You have to whisper.
You have to whisper. You have to whisper, absolutely.
I think if we were louder, we'd be, I mean, I feel pretty self-conscious anyway.
I think if we were any louder, I'd kick myself out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
that does. I think we're going to kick ourselves out pretty soon. We're hammering through this point as quick as we can. It's a hotel. If you want a steak, come and have one.
Yeah.
If you want someone to stay, come and have one. Don't stay in 317.
Definitely don't. No. Don't stay with the two ghosts and this lovely lady, because that would.
She says we're wicked. Should we call it time at the bar?
We could call it time at the bar. Time at the bar. See you in the next pub.
We're on.
And here we are.
Here we are. We're at the Withdean Stadium, Tongdean. What's it called?
It's called the Sportsman.
Yeah, we're at the pub. It's called the Sportsman.
The Sportsman slash
Sportsman Stonehouse.
Sportsman Stonehouse. It used to be called the Sportsman. This dude, we just talked to the bar guy, and he said that it used to be here before World War II.
That's what he said.
When did World War II happen, Jack?
It ended in 45. I think it started in 39.
So we're talking about like mid-30s.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are we drinking?
We're drinking Carlsberg.
Cheers.
Hey.
Cheapest pints.
Cheapest price. In fact, yeah, I said at the beginning of this episode, that the cheapest pints we'd find were, how much were they? Almost £4, I think.
They were £3.90 each. Yeah.
Now, these pints are basically $3.60 each. Mm-hmm. So I was wrong.
But like I said, it's barely beer. But it's good for me. I mean, it's more than good enough.
I like the Carlsberg. I like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it tastes good. It tastes better than it's sort of than its what's it called? It's volume. Is that
it's
what
volume?
It's called?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can say it's
volume?
alcoholic volume. It's better than it tastes better than what it should taste like.
Tastes better than its volume
because it's refreshing. It's cold. I think the weirdest thing. I mean, let's just describe the pub that we're in.
Guys are going to get some clicks here because I'm looking around for a lighter. But
okay.
But yeah, the weirdest thing about this pub, God, what is it?
Yeah, the weird thing is that we're looking at what appears to be some sort of mental racetrack. It's like there's a sort of Auschwitz-style bars.
Yeah, they are fucking crazy.
That have closed off the smoking area. Then beyond that, there's a railing, and then utter darkness.
Like this place is like we had to take a taxi down to this one, isn't it, Bob? We had to take a taxi down here.
This cab driver was the best cab driver.
Yeah, he put Classic FM straight on. He had no worries about it.
He had it pre-programmed in.
Yeah.
And he said he went over to us. He said, "You guys," he was like, "You guys, I just want to let you guys know you're the fucking best guys in the world because no one ever."
He said, in 7 years as a cab driver, no one has ever requested Classic FM. And
you know what that means? That means
we're those schmucks.
We are those schmucks, and also it was in the stars that we were supposed to meet tonight.
And it was kind. It was a kind thing. He was glad about it. He asked us what our favourite artists are. We sort of went Mozart and that.
I was like, Bach.
I said Wagner. You were like, he's a Nazi.
I was like, don't look Bach in anger.
Wagner, you're behaving like this.
But I just. What I'm trying to explain to an audience who can't see right now but can only hear is just how bizarre this smoking area is. You're looking through green grates onto another. It looks like a balcony.
Yeah, it looks like a balcony.
It's not a railway track. It's not a railway track.
It looks over a racetrack, but we're not sure what kind of racetrack because it's dark. It must be a
horse. You think it's a horse track?
I don't know. And we asked him, do they play football? And he went, yeah, they used to play football on the racetrack and that. And we're like, all right.
What are they racing? They're racing nags, dags, pags.
I don't know.
What are they racing?
I don't know what they're racing. But when the taxi drove up and when we pulled out, I looked out and went, well, here is it, Bob? And he went, suppose so. It's like, fucking hell. We walked into like the sort of the biggest, smallest social club you've ever sort of can imagine. If you can imagine pulling into sort of like quite a stadium-esque car park and seeing like this little pub where you have to go down the stairs, and that's where we're sat. Last orders is about 40 minutes now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we do have an opportunity for another drink here. The question is, as Joe has asked me before, is can we go somewhere else? But the answer to that question is yes, but only very far away. I think right now we're on the midst of the murmur.
Yeah.
We don't know where the fuck we are.
Yeah, no, it's somewhere near Patcham.
I think the nearest. I think from my list, the nearest bar to here is another hotel.
I can't go to another hotel.
But it might. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, man.
Definitely
take a light. Yeah.
The barman's just asking us for a light.
No worries.
The reason why I'm phrasing things in such a way is because we're actually recording a little podcast. No, you're welcome. Sorry. You're welcome to join us. We'd like to hear your. Let's clip you on, man. Clip you on. Tell us about your experiences.
He's like, fuck off. He's like, fuck off, you bastards. Yeah. So.
What is this place? What is this? What is the track?
Yeah, it's a track where they do like athletics in the evenings.
It's an
athletic track.
Athletics track. Yeah.
No animals.
Nice.
Just humans. Okay, cool. So
it used to be a zoo, though.
It used to be a zoo. My God.
Before the war, and
before the war,
they stopped
it just gets weirder.
When there was bombing, they were worried that the animals would get out, so then they closed it down.
He's saying that.
Oh my God, that's incredible!
As a result of the bombing, they thought the animals would get out of the zoo, so they changed it into a human track.
That's incredible.
A track for human beings.
Play cricket there.
Used to be cricket. Now.
Lots of different stuff. And this place...
That's amazing.
This place actually used to open down onto it, so this was like the cricket ground. And
Oh man, now that makes sense. Now this makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was wondering about this because this is like a viewing point, isn't it? This is like we're looking down onto this. Yeah, it really does remind me of
I was just saying to the audience how bizarre it is to have a smoking area that's got all this kind of grating in front of it.
The council had to put it up.
Oh, did they? To stop people sort of jumping off or whatever?
having a good time.
No, I just think because that's run by the council down there.
Right.
So it's just been run by the council, so.
Yeah, and I think once this became a separate part of the business, it just had to be.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. It was for the safety of the public.
Well, there's always loads of children running around it. And
Yes.
every day.
They're
so
to
this
sa-
is like a big
they're to
family
save the
place,
small
isn't it,
children.
right?
Yeah, but this is a beer garden here, so we couldn't have been open just like going down there while there's like
Fair enough, yeah.
every day is like a children's school day. Every school in the south.
They had to. They basically what the barman is trying to say to us is that they were trying to protect all the children, so they had to keep the children away from the edge.
Virtually every day in the summer there's a school. There's like a
So yeah, that's what's going on.
That must make this place a real nice place to be in the summer.
But what I was going to say on a separate note, Joe, is that this place does have another strange vibe connected to those other pubs. It's also massive. Right?
Yeah, it's huge.
Also
Huge place this is.
And
Huge.
one half of it is now reserved for Pizzeria Spectacular.
Yeah, they've got whole kids bar
they've got
over
whole
there.
sort of like, yeah.
It looks like there's like a place where you can get. It looks like somewhere you can get ice cream and stuff like that. And
Yeah, there's like
Ice cream factory.
Help yourself ice cream and
Yeah.
like stone baked pizza ovens.
brilliant. Do you light?
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Where's
down
that
to the
light-
microphone,
Where's
my
that,
friend.
where's that bloody light? Where's that bloody lighter gone? Bob's got it, hogging it.
And
I'm hogging
children's
it.
play area. There's another big beer garden in the back as well.
Is it? Yeah, wicked.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice place. It's a nice place. There's a lot of there's some stains on the like stained glass window style stuff going on. Like this stuff's old, but in a fantastic way, in the way it should be. You know. Keep getting the lighter. Keep getting the lighter. What you smoking hash there or something? Keeps going.
I hope
it's like
not.
that.
No,
He's
my
accidentally
e-cig-
smoking hash. The
my
barman is
e-cig ran-
accidentally smoking hash.
Your e-cig's
My
gone
e-cig
out.
ran out a battery, so I had to pinch her.
You're back on the reelies.
Oh
You're
no.
back on the deathies, man.
Oh no.
Till I get home, I can charge it.
Right, well, I think we better get back to the conversation because otherwise wherever we're recording right now is going to go completely bizarre in the edit.
Well, I don't think so.
No?
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
No, we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
What else do you do in a pub?
I don't know. What else do we do in a pub? What I've been thinking about is what is it really that makes people even come to a pub in the first place, other than just the alcohol? I know that's the easy thing. You want to get fucked up, you come to a pub.
That's the first and foremost thing.
I think there's something a bit more than that, and I think there's something that when council blocks or whatever when they're knocking down buildings, when the council are deciding to knock down pubs, which when I was searching
It's happening
for
all the fucking time, yeah.
totally,
Oh,
yeah,
thanks, man.
when I was that lovely barman just thanked us.
Lovely bloke.
But when I was searching for a lot of the different the pubs that were in Brighton, I realised I was adding loads of them that had already been demolished. They'd already been either changed or demolished.
Yeah.
And I realised, fucking hell, pubs are like, they're on the chopping block. They're the Marie Antoinettes, the buildings.
Yeah, that's true.
It's savage.
What, they're eating cake?
Well, they're eating cake, they're drinking cake, and they're getting fucking their heads cut off, man.
Yeah, they are, man. They're getting their heads cut off. I think this is something. I think this is sort of the crux of why we're one of the cruxes of why we're doing.
It's a
this.
deeper meaning, isn't it?
Yeah,
within what we're up to.
I think it's because I probably like you feel somewhat like. And I don't think this is correct, like totally correct, but this is how I feel. I feel like something that I love and something that sort of should be totally kind of natural in a sense, because like a public house is a place where we can come together, whether man, dog,
llama
or chinchilla.
Yeah.
Like we can all come together and just sort of have a nice time. Hopefully, if it's sunny, that's an even better time.
Yeah.
Like, we can all get together. We can have a knees up.
Yeah.
You know,
Mother Brown.
Mother Brown. Let's have a knees up. But what? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, can we when did it stop? Is what I'm trying to find out.
I don't know.
I keep going to pubs. I keep going to pubs. And I keep going, and it's like, a roast is 17 quid, and a pint is 6 quid, and it's like, I'm not sure if that's what these places are supposed to be.
But
agree. Now, like, we're sort of being milked like bizarre...
aphids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I once saw an ant milking an aphid, so that's why I was referencing that. I actually saw several ants milking aphids. It wasn't just one. But I also think I can only speak for the 90s. You know, you and me both. You know, you saw a little bit more in the 90s than I did.
Couple more years.
But for me, I saw pubs die around the millennium. Essentially, things started to die out.
Yeah.
When the smoking ban came in, when was that? Was that 2002, 2004?
I think it was 2004.
Yeah, so...
I remember it, I was in Wetherspoons, running across tables, away from the bar staff, with a cigarette in hand, jumping across tables. It was a lark. I was having a lark, but I meant it.
Why not?
But I meant it.
It's like, why the fuck is this a problem?
Yeah, I mean...
There used to be restaurants where it was a non-smoking seat or a smoking seat.
Like, I mean, like my mum was a barmaid, so I spent almost my entire childhood in a pub. You know, a specific pub. I was in the Farmer's Arms. I was in there all the time.
Yeah.
Like it was something. Like I remember it so vividly. I remember everything about it, and almost never do I get a glimpse of that kind of pub. Ever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a glimpse. When you get a glimpse, you go, "Well, this is something to keep hold of."
I don't think when the people who put forward
but maybe with dinosaurs or
maybe we are fucking sophisticated dinosaurs. I agree with you, Joe. I just added the word sophisticated.
Thanks.
I think it's also possible that when they got rid of the smoking ban, they didn't intend to get rid of pubs, but it ended up having a knock-on effect. Yeah. Somehow, the idea of getting rid of the things that people like to do was also a motion toward getting rid of the idea of people just having fun and taking pleasure in being in pubs.
Yeah.
I don't know why specifically, because I know not everyone was a smoker. I know there were probably many people who were very happy about the smoking ban because they used to hang out with smokers and they'd be like, "Well, you know, I don't wake up the next day with a lung full of ash or whatever the fuck." And all that kind of stuff.
Your clothes smell like ashtrays and stuff like that.
That's so classic because I've always loved the smell of cigarette smoke, even when I didn't smoke. But there you go.
And I've always found myself like even when I was younger, and I don't think I'm that old, but throughout my life, even with thanks. But like with lovers and things like that, I've always remembered that many of them have enjoyed the fact that like they go, "Oh, you smell like beer," or "You smell like cigarettes."
Nice, I like that.
And I go, and I'm of course.
So you're basically
I'm
saying...
of course self-conscious about that. I go, I don't want to breathe on you.
In a weird way, that what they're saying is you smell like a different era.
You smell, yeah.
Which is totally nuts. but it's beautiful.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
It's nuts, but it's beautiful.
That isn't what I'm really saying, but maybe it is. Maybe that is what I'm saying. But there's just something that there is something, and I don't know what it is. But I don't want it to just disappear. I don't want this world to just fade away into the history of things and then let it be replaced with like Amazon or like or vapes and stuff. And I'm not saying vapes are bad. Vapes are fine. Like vape away as much as you want. But I really feel like there is like a sort of savageness. And maybe this is just the way that the way that the present destroys the past. That's how it goes on. We must destroy the past.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it feels to me savage, and I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But just because I don't want it to happen doesn't mean it won't happen.
It reminds me of like Hitchhiker's Guide, where the main character is waking up and he's getting the bulldozer that's bulldozing down his house, and then he finds out that actually the whole planet's being bulldozed the same day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it is like that.
It's like your traditions and the things that you hold dear, which in many ways are an imitation of what we thought other people in the past held dear.
Yeah.
Are actually just a bigger part of another thing that's being removed, which is some kind of old England. Mm-hmm. You know,
It's like what happened to the dream.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But the thing is that dream is being pushed out with the same, they call it, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah,
It's the same bathwater that contains the Wicker Man. It's the same bathwater that contains
Mayday,
Morris dancers.
Oh,
It's all the same stuff. It's weird because you think, but can't we have that without the cigarettes, without the alcohol? No, actually, you can't.
No, you cannot.
No, actually, it's all fused together because it's an old England. You have to understand it's a different world.
And it's something also, and it's something to be. It's something to be, I think, ritualistically respected in a sense that like of course I come from Penzance, I come from a Cornish world, and we've got Maisie Day and Galloward.
A place that's still very much in touch with
in some
its
ways.
Well, it wasn't until the 70s that they started up Maisie Day
they
again.
brought it back, yeah. Well, I don't
but then again, the 70s was the era.
I don't even think it was the 70s they brought it back. I think the 70s I think early 90s is when they brought it back.
What Joe is talking about is that in Penzance they have a festival called Maisie Day, which is essentially a May Day festival.
Yeah,
essentially.
that's right. Yeah, and it's also a festival of fishing. It's also a fish festival in some ways.
Where they have huge sort of pagan sort of puppeteering, crazy statues that move through the streets, and
no, they don't treat it so much like that.
And so we're at the Sportsman.
We're at the Sportsman's.
We're at the Sportsman somewhere in Hollingbury, Patcham.
Who fucking knows?
Who fucking knows where we are? We're somewhere at the Sportsman.
We have got some recordings. It might have been deleted.
We are literally tonight is the pilot. I'm not going to lie to you, dear audience. This is the pilot. So we are just testing out not only our microphones, but whether or not the equipment that we're using is working. So
that's right. We're also testing out our own bravado.
Absolutely,
the season of the pilots is among us.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we are living in the season of the pilots. What we've been talking about is paganism, but also not just paganism, but a sweeping, more overall concept about old England. Are we losing it? You know, what's happening to it? Who's destroying it? Is it something that we can get rid of? Is it something that will survive? That's kind of what we've been going on about.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
What do you think about it, Joe?
I think that my heart bleeds for my grandfather's soul. I think about my grandmother telling me about things like he had his own seat in that pub. No one else would sit in that seat. And sure, people would sit in it when he wasn't there. Let's not be crazy. But I'd like to think that I'd like to think that in some way when they did sit there, they'd be like, oh, this is Roger's seat.
They felt privileged, like sitting in a throne.
Sorry guys, if you wanted another drink, you need to order one now because the till's going to be taken.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Cheers.
man. We'll be all right.
All right, thank you.
Should we order another one now? The barman just came out and asked us if we should order another drink.
I don't think we should take one.
You don't think we should have one?
I think we should take another pub.
Yeah, go to another pub. Okay. This is the realistic warning of a true pub crawler. Is that I don't know how long that walk could be. Do you want to take a cab to the next place?
I downloaded Uber.
Well, if you want to Uber it to the next place, I'm happy to do that. Just to give the audience a brief picture of what's going on, just in case they didn't hear the last bit. It's quite a large pub. It's got a nice chandelier. Half of it's space into a pizzeria.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it a bit
And then
awkward.
off the garden, we've got bizarre grates that make it feel very Auschwitz-y styles. And then beyond that, we've got we've got a racetrack that sometimes is used for humans, but pre-war was used for animals. It was a zoo.
That is actually the best description, man. You nailed it.
That's exactly what they said. I mean,
That's exactly
it used to be a zoo, but then during the war, because things were being bombed, they thought, we better get these animals out of here because they might get loose.
They want chimpanzees hanging around Patcham.
No, they don't want chimpanzees hanging around Patcham.
I think we're chimpanzee enough for everyone. So
I know. Are we not enough chimpanzee for Patcham? That's many years ago, but still.
To be honest, the only thing that makes me really want to stay here, first of all, other than the fact that we're settled down in an outdoor garden, is that the pints are so fucking cheap, man.
Yeah, but they're also bollocks pints.
Fair enough. But £3.60 for a pint, you know, I won't shake my fucking tail feather at it.
Do you know?
Say it again, Joe.
Do you want to know what makes me want to leave?
Go on.
That this is a pub crawl.
True. And you know what? Without a man like you, Joe, we wouldn't continue. So, on that note,
Let's call time at the bar.
time at the bar. So,
Yes.
we basically last you heard from us. We were leaving the Sportsman, the Stone Sportsman.
The Sportsman Stonehouse.
That was about a week ago, and basically what happened is we took a taxi to a hotel, the Preston Hotel, I think it's called. I can't remember the exact name.
Did we take a taxi to that?
I think we took a taxi there. Yeah, we were absolutely high rollers that day,
Yeah.
and basically they wouldn't serve us alcohol. They didn't understand the concept of the podcast. Which is fair enough.
They said they've got a 24-hour bar online.
They say they got a 24-hour
They wouldn't even
bar.
let us in.
They're a bunch of fucking liars, basically. So we have been considering whether to call them back and try to arrange drinking at the bar. But as Joe has said before, maybe the idea is, you know, it's only a public house if it's public. It's only a pub if everyone's allowed in.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's an example that not all hotels are bars, and I think one that we've certainly learned. Then we tried to get into a few other pubs that all turned us away.
Because it was past time, though.
Because it was past time.
Yeah.
So we had to end the episode abruptly without recording an ending. So this is that ending.
This is the ending.
Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed our very experimental first episode, and we'll talk to you next week and be drinking with you then.
Absolutely.
Bye bye. Nice. How did it sound?
Still recording.
Getting a pint at the pub today sure does take a lot. 900 bars at £4.50 costs a fucking lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna drink in every pub in Brighton town. From Wetherspoons to Jambalaya, checking the map at the dog track. From the lobster to the fucking cow, we gonna drink in every pub in town. We're having a smoke at the County Oak, at the Jolly